What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mellon. You're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Wednesday, June 24th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. It was no secret that Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media was seeking a buyer, but investors were shocked by its low sale price from June 22nd to Sequential Brands Group, $6.15 a share, 12% below its close the previous trading day. At press time, about a dozen law firms said they were contemplating class action suits to block the transaction. One firm, Robbins Arroyo, noted the agreed-upon price, which works out to about $353 million, marks a 16% premium on the stock's value in May, well below the 22% 1 month later average acquired companies have received in the past 5 years. Anticipating blowback, Stewart's CEO Daniel Danst and the rest of the Lifestyles Company board built into the deal a 30-day go-shop period, which makes a few interested companies out of the woodwork, says Noble financial analyst Michael Kempinski, who figures the Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media could be worth as much as $9 a share. If the deal survives, investors would be paid half in cash and half in stock. Stewart, who's 73, would be chief creative officer and a primary shareholder in a holding company housing the assets, which includes her videos, websites, and Emeril Lagasse's culinary brand. The Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media acquisition would mark Sequential's ninth under CEO Yedida Shimanim, 34. Sequential is a publicly traded company with a market capitalization of $668 million, whose brands includes Justin Timberlake's William Rass label and Jessica Simpson's clothing line. Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media's value peaked at $2 billion in 1999, but the company never fully recovered from Stewart's legal woes a decade ago and hasn't transitioned to the digital area as well as others have. Its 2010 deal from a major Hallmark Channel programming block fizzled when the cable network realized it could attract more viewers with Little House on the Prairie reruns. Those burdens led to Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media losing $8 million in 2014 after losing $2 million the previous year. Michael Stone, the CEO of the brand extension agency Beanstalk, says the brand has lost its soul. It expanded into too many disparate categories. It's iconic in the home and entertaining categories, and that's where it should focus. But Shimenman noted that Stewart boasted 96% brand awareness in the U.S. and touts international opportunities. Martha Stewart's impact around the world is staggering. Game of Thrones star Kit Harington is joining Dakota Fanning and Guy Pearce in the upcoming thriller Brimstone. Kit's character, Jon Snow, was recently killed off in the shocking season finale of Game of Thrones. In Brimstone, he will play an outlaw who has a crucial role in the tale of the Retribution, replacing Robert Pattinson, who was announced as taking on the role during the Berlin Film Festival and Market. Clarice Van Houten, who starred in Valkyrie and Game of Thrones, is also part of the cast of the movie by writer-director Martin Koolhoven, who was behind Dutch box office hit Winter and Wartime. Principal photography started recently. The project from Dutch filmmaker Koolhoven has added to its cast Paul Anderson, Jack Roth, and Carla Jury. Fanning stars as Liz, a heroine on the run from her past and chased by the evil preacher played by Pierce. Mia Wasikowska was originally cast in Fanning's role, and Bachman is handling world sales on the title. New Line is bringing a live-action adaptation of a popular 80s video game, Rampage, to the big screen with Dwayne Johnson attached to star. The project reunites Johnson, New Line, and producer Beau Flynn, who teamed for the hit disaster pick San Andreas. Given the success of San Andreas and its more than $400 million worldwide box office haul, New Line is eager to get Rampage off the ground and is eyeing for a 2016 summer production start. Based on the Midway arcade game, the script is being written by Ryan Engel, who wrote Nonstop. There's no director attached at this point. Johnson is having one of the highest profile summers of any actor. In addition to San Andreas, he stars in the mammoth hit Furious 7, and his heavily promoted series Ballers premiered on HBO on June 21st. Fox News will now renew its contract with Sarah Palin, a network rep confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter, parting ways with the former vice presidential candidate who joined the network as a contributor after she and presidential candidate John McCain lost the 2008 election. The former Alaska governor and Fox News amicably parted ways on June 1st, the network confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter. Palin, who has a show on the Sportsman channel, is expected to continue to make guest appearances on Fox and Fox Business Politico, which previously reported on Fox, and Palin split, teasing that she, quote, will announce a new publishing project soon. Palin and Fox briefly went their separate ways in 2013, with her not renewing her 3-year contract in January of that year before she returned as a paid contributor in June. When Palin and Fox parted ways in 2013, the departure came after months of Palin expressing her displeasure with the network, including an August 2012 Facebook post complaining about her not appearing in the network's Republican National Convention coverage. When asked a few months later by The Hollywood Reporter why she rehired Palin, Fox Network CEO Roger Ailes said, "The only two people I knew who got worse press than her were Richard Nixon and George W. Bush. Much of it unfair to her family. I probably hired back if you really want to get to the bottom of it, to give her a chance to say her piece and piss off the people that wanted her dead." Palin later posted on her Facebook page that she accepted for the same reason. Elias once told the Associated Press, "I hired Sarah Palin because she was hot and got ratings." As of Wednesday morning, Fox News website still listed Palin as one of its contributors. AMC has released the first hint of what's to come when Season 6 of The Walking Dead returns in October. The cabler has released the Comic-Con key art for the zombie drama and its hints at dueling factions within the confines of Alexandria. On one side, Rick, played by Andrew Lincoln, seems to represent his wary band of survivors and Alexandria newbies. What's more, he's almost butting heads with long-lost friend Morgan, played by Lenny James, who finally reunites with Rick after making his way to Alexandria to find the former sheriff executing a man in what looked like cold blood. Morgan, for his part, is positioning as siding with Alexandria's longtime leader and residents in what potentially sets up an internal struggle within the safe zone as the new outside threats of the Wolves community looms beyond the walls. Liz Rosenberg, a music industry veteran who is best known to the masses as Madonna's publicist, has announced her retirement. She broke the news to the New York Post's page 6 column on June 23rd, jokingly commenting, "I think 2 centuries is long enough, don't you?" Rosenberg has been Madonna's publicist since 1983. She also currently represents Cher, Stevie Nicks, and Michael Bublé. A longtime staffer at Warner Brothers Records, where she started working in 1971, she launched her own firm, Liz Rosenberg Media, in 2010 after leaving the label. During her 39-year tenure at Warner Brothers, she worked with such acts as Van Halen, Prince, and Rod Stewart, among many others. Rosenberg has been by Madonna's side at countless red carpet premieres, events, and interviews for over 3 decades. During that time, she became a favorite among media professionals, beloved for her signature sarcasm and often outrageous attire. A favorite, cat ears. In 2008, during the Queen of Pop's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Madonna thanked Rosenberg in her acceptance speech. "She's been and still is the head of publicity for my entire career," Madonna said to the audience. Now, does anybody understand the insanity of being my publicist for the last 25 years? Well, I think Liz was smoking a joint when I first met her. I walked into her office and she was politely stubbed it out in the ashtray. I don't think she thought I knew I was smoking a joint, but it was a little bit obvious. Anyway, we had hit it off right away. She was my kind of girl, tough, irreverent, and funny. And we've had a long and amazing chunk of time together. Billboard has reached out to Rosenberg for what's sure to be another entertaining comment. Director Liz Garbus paints a balanced portrait of the legendary singer Nina Simone in Netflix's first commissioned documentary, What Happened, Miss Simone, including the emotional account from the singer's only daughter, Lisa, detailing the intense physical abuse she suffered at the hands of her iconic mother. Details of the abuse, which surfaced during filming of the doc out June 26, came as a surprise to the accomplished documentarian who previously directed There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane, Bobby Fischer Against the World, and Love, Marilyn. Garbus says, the fact that Lisa was abused by Nina and by her father was not something I had known, but the first time I met Lisa, I felt it. I don't know how many of us could reveal that and not ask for editorial control, but without acknowledging the tough spots, how could you really acknowledge the full genius of who she was? Apple Music, the hardware giant's soon-to-launch streaming service, has landed an 11-hour coup, striking deals with the independent digital rights organizations Merlin and with Martin Mills' indie powerhouse Beggars Group, sources told Billboard. In a letter sent to Merlin's member, CEO Charles Cadalis writes, I am pleased to say that Apple has made a decision to pay for all usage of Apple Music under the free trials of a per-play basis, as well as to modify a number of other terms that members have been communicating directly with Apple about. With these changes, we are happy to support the deal. The announcement comes on the heels of the company's 180-degree turn on the deal term, asking labels to forgo royalty payments during a 90-day free trial offered to Apple Music users. Criticism was loud and prompted by pop star Taylor Swift to write an open letter asking the company to reverse its policy. In a way, Swift's blog helped ward off bad publicity the company has weathered in recent weeks. Apple was soon to face a full-scale revolt from indie labels not affiliated with the major owned distributors. As it stands, most indie distributors say their labels hadn't signed. Merlin, which itself came under attack in 2014 for making a deal that, according to its critics, lowered its members' labels' per-stream royalty rate with Pandora, launched in 2008 and represents 20,000 labels and distributors worldwide, and has offices in London and New York with the head office in Amsterdam. Beggars is the unofficial standard bearer for the indie community. Its leader, Martin Mills, who built the company from the ground up and is a tireless advocate for the independent music community, has, until now, stood firmly opposed to Apple's offer. A statement from the label's website reads, given the natural response of competing digital service to offer comparable terms, we feel that the free trial aspect, far from moving the industry away from freedom service, a model we support, is only resulting in the take of the M out of the freedom. Beggars comprise 4 imprints, 4AD, XL, Matador, and Rough Trade, and has had the biggest hand in the careers of such stars as Adele, Radiohead, The Prodigy, Arcade Fire, and many others. Rapper Rick Ross is facing kidnapping and assault charges after a U.S. Marshal Service fugitive task force and deputies arrested him at his mansion south of Atlanta early Wednesday, authorities said. Ross and a man described as his bodyguard were taken into custody at Fayette County. Jim Joyner, a supervisor for the Marshals Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force, told the Associated Press. Ross, whose real name is William Roberts, was being held in the Fayette County Jail on charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and aggravated battery, Joyner said. The bodyguard, whose name wasn't released, faces the same charges. Officers showed up at the mansion once owned by boxer Evander Holyfield, but someone inside refused to open the gate leading to the home, authorities said. Joyner said they refused to open the gate, so we opened the gate for them. Once officers got past the gate, someone inside opened the front door so they didn't have to break it down, Joyner said. Ross and the bodyguard were then taken into custody without incident, Joyner said. They didn't up a struggle or anything. Joyner says details of the charges would have to come to Fayette County authorities, who weren't immediately available Wednesday morning. It wasn't known whether Ross has an attorney in the case. A message left at the Maybach Music Group, Ross's record label, was not immediately returned Wednesday morning. It is the second time in the past 2 weeks Ross has been arrested in Fayette County. On June 10th, Ross was booked in the county jail on a misdemeanor charge on marijuana possession. In that case, Ross and a passenger were pulled over because the windows of the Bentley in which they were riding violated tinted regulations. Fayette County Sheriff's spokesman J. Allen Stevens said at the time. The officers smelled marijuana and found some inside the car, Stevens said. And finally, Channing Tatum stopped by The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon on Tuesday night to perform a few Magic Mike 30 scenes as written by elementary school kids. The regular segment has students pen two-person scenes, only knowing the film's title and nothing else. Therefore, Tatum, as Magic Mike, equipped with the new catchphrase, "I'm like regular Mike, except magic," found himself rescuing a boy with a flat bicycle tire and taking off his mask to reveal his true identity. In fact, Magic Mike is the king of aliens, he read, followed by an evil laugh. The actor tried his best to remain sexy while using his magic bike pump and stayed on pitch with Jimmy Fallon while singing Magic Bird, Come Fly With Me. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, June 24th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.